So my first animal I want to show you guys, this is one of my bearded dragons. This is Luna. This is kind of her setup. She actually needs more fresh water. They get veggies, they get a mix of a salad every day, they get their crickets every day. I have them on carpet. There's a lot of people want to use sand for their bearded dragons. Sand is actually really bad for them. Even what they call sand, they say there's calcium and stuff in it, but there's still sand, and sand can cause impactation, and it can actually be deadly to your reptiles. So as a whole, usually don't use sand for any reptile. So she has a hide here. She has a piece of wood over here to hang out on, and she has her hammock as well, which she loves. She's a good girl. And then she has her UVB and heat lamp up here. And their tanks are in need of complete cleanings. I spot clean it every day, but it's time for a full cleaning. So I'm going to pull her out real quick for you guys, so you guys can kind of see her, a little better. So this is Luna. She is starting to shed, so she will get a bath here later. You want to touch gently. Oops. She is feisty. She's still getting used to being handled gently. There you go. And gently. Okay, thank you. Can you sit down and wait? My little boy loves my animals, I think as much as I do, and he loves petting them. And he's very, very gentle with them. Luna, I don't usually let him pet because she's just really, really feisty, as most female reptiles are. But she is what they call a sand fire. She is very light, like her head here. It's very light sandy color. She has usually a lot of these orange accents. She's a good girl. She's a little feisty, so it takes her a minute, and sometimes she's still getting used to me, and I don't know what it is, but she's still getting used to being handled, and so when someone else comes in the picture, she gets a little more jumpy about it. So bearded dragons can get anywhere from 20 to 22 inches. They can live 6 to 10 years is what seems to be the average, but they can easily live up to 15 years, and there's even been records of them living to 20 years old. And as a full-grown bearded dragon, they will need a 40 to 75 gallon tank. When it comes to temperature, their basking area, which this is her basking area, it's where her basking bulb is, it needs to be about 100 degrees, and then about 80 degrees on the cool side. That's during the day. They eat insects and veggies, so just a variety of different insects and different veggies, mostly crickets. And then you can also, part of their diet is, their normal diet here is like green beans and carrots and kale. And I also feed them pieces of mango from time to time as a treat. They'll get pieces of apple and pieces of banana. The fruits are more of a treat because veggies are going to be more of their normal diet. But this is Luna. And so over here we have my other bearded dragon. This is Draco. Now I did mean to point out that in Draco's cage he does not have a hide and a log to climb on because he has a very large hide here. So this hide and his hammock is more than enough for him to sit on and bask and hang out. I've actually got to adjust his hammock and bring it up a little more. But he is due for a tank upgrade, as is Luna. So basically they need to go ahead and be moved into adult size enclosures. They are just getting a little big. They would probably more than likely be completely fine in these for a little longer, but I want to go ahead and get them upgraded into new adult enclosures. So here I've got them both. This is Draco. Draco is also slightly shedding. He's almost going to be done. This will probably be off tonight or tomorrow after his bath. He is a hypocitrus leatherback. So leatherback meaning his back is not bumpy. It's very smooth. He still has his spines and such here, but his back is smooth, and I'll show you guys that difference. So you can see Luna, her back is more bumpy. Draco's is more smooth. So Draco is a leatherback, and his color, he's a hypocitrus, and she is a sandfire, though she's not showing it beautifully like she usually does. So these guys are actually about the same length. They're both about 14.5 inches. Luna over here is 123 grams, while Draco is 152 grams. I had Draco first. Draco is actually my very first reptile, and he is just a doll. My little boy absolutely loves him, and under supervision, my little boy handles him a lot. My little boy, he's almost 2, and what I usually do with Draco is I just put him on a shirt. My little boy will just stand there, sit down, and just gently pet him. He's very, very good with him. And Draco is just a big doll, so he is absolutely a sweetheart. He's a fat boy, and you might be able to kind of see the difference in their size a little bit better here. But Luna, she's getting, I don't know if you can tell, she's getting a little more darker being handled. She's not that big of a fan of being handled, whereas Draco over here, he could care less. So those are these two guys. So my next reptiles I have that I would love to show you guys are my 2 snakes. This is one of my snake's enclosures. This is my female Medusas. She's in a 10-gallon on a stand. This is my male's enclosure. This is Loki's. He is also in a 10-gallon on a stand. So for this video, I have Loki out. I will show you guys Medusa. Medusa, she is not really a big fan of being handled, and every time I handle her, she always musks on me, and quite frankly, it stinks, and she's a biter, and you can't really feel it. It just feels like a little prick. Like, I can't even say it feels like a prick because you don't even really feel it. You feel it, but it doesn't bother you, if that makes sense. So these guys are still pretty young. This is Loki. He is 16 grams, and he's about 19 inches long. And so corn snakes can grow 3 to 5 feet. Usually the males grow about 3 feet, and the females get larger at about 5 feet. They can live up to 20 years, and full grown, they will need anywhere. A lot of people say 20-gallon tanks is more than enough for them, and that you can put them in 20 gallons. I say if you're going to have a snake, especially if they're going to be getting closer to 5 feet, especially for females, to maybe do a 30, maybe even a 40 gallon. They would be fine in a 20, but they're not going to have that much room to stretch out in a 20 gallon. So both of mine will probably end up in 30 gallons or 40 gallons fully grown, just to give them a little more room, just because I don't want my animals to feel cramped, and I would like them to be able to stretch out. So with them, their tanks, you need to have a warm side and a cool side, just like with all reptiles, because that's how they heat their body. They can't do it on their own like we can, so they have to have a warm area to heat up and a cool area to cool off. So their warm side should be about 85 degrees, and their cool side should be about 70 degrees. They both have under tank heaters. It's just heat mats that are under their tanks on the right side on both of their tanks, and that, or not the right side, the right side on Medusa's tank and the left side on Loki's tank where their hides are. And they have aspen in their cage. Do not ever use pine with snakes. Pine is actually very toxic to most reptiles, and so if you plan on getting a reptile, please do not use pine. And same, I think pine and sand, I think of them as the same thing. Like, pine is toxic, sand can cause impactation. So with these guys, they're going to be feeding on mice to rats as they grow. So right now they are on pinky mice, which are teeny tiny baby mice. And as they get older, especially Medusa, her being a female, she may end up on rats, and he may end up on rat pups. So we'll see how that goes. But this is the Loki. I do not know his morph. That is something I want to figure out, but I do not know what he would be. I know nothing of his genetics. It would just be trying to have a roundabout guess. But this is Loki. And he is a beautiful noodle, and I love my noodle. He has never musked me. He has never tried to bite me. My son actually loves petting him, and Loki's really good. Loki will sit on his shoulder. And so Loki's the one I use to let my son interact with a little bit. So I wanted to show you guys Medusa. I'm not going to handle her. She does not like being handled much. So this is her. She's always curled up in a ball. But this is Medusa. Trying to see if I can get her to unravel herself a little. Stop. But this is Medusa. She's absolutely gorgeous, and I love her. She's beautiful. but she does not like being handled, so I don't handle her much. It's just something that she does not enjoy. I meant to tell you guys that Medusa is about 10 grams and about 16 inches long. Moving on to my next animal, this is my Pac-Man Frog enclosure. This is Gaia. I'm assuming it's a female. Not sure, but we'll find out as she gets older. But for now, it's a female. Her name is Gaia. So with Pac-Man Frogs, it's very, very simple enclosure. You can use Eco-Earth, and that's what I have in here, is I have Eco-Earth in here. It's very, very simple. I am going to get some more moss to lay around the on the dirt. Over here she has a mossy spot over here. She just has two small things in here, nothing big, just something to make it look a little more appeasing to my eyes. You do not have to do this. If you have a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll keep their Pac-Man frogs on rocks and water, or they'll just keep them in dirt. Me, I want my frog to have the option. So we have water over here with rocks. The water is very, very minimal. It's not very deep at all. It doesn't even, it comes up to like the bottom of her head, so it does not even go over her mouth. She has rocks. As she gets older, I can actually pull these rocks out and make it deeper. But the water in here will help keep the humidity up, as will spraying and misting the tank down every day. Now, these animals are not an animal that you are going to handle much. So Pac-Man frogs, they are also known as the horned frog. Males can get about 4 inches and females can get about 7 inches. They can live about 15 years, and full grown they will need anywhere from a 10 to 20 gallon tank depending on if you have a male or a female. They are a sit and wait animal, meaning pretty much they're going to sit down and they're not going to move around much all day. They're going to sit there and they're going to wait for their food to come to them. They also like to burrow, so having lots of dirt for them to burrow into is ideal, hence why I have about 2 to 3 inches of dirt in here. So they do good at about room temperature. Anywhere from 65 to 85 degrees is fine for these guys. They don't really need any sufficient heating, and do not use a heat lamp with them. If you need to substitute a heat source, use an under tank heater, because a heat lamp can dry them out. You do have to mist the tank every day to keep the soil moist and just to keep your humidity levels up. They eat mostly like crickets and roaches are the best things for them, but they will also eat things like fish and maybe waxworms and mealworms, superworms, things like that. So for the purpose of the video, I am going to pull her out and show you guys. I'm going to wet my hands a little bit with her. She's rinsed off. You can see her. This is Gaia. She is an albino Pac-Man frog. These animals are not animals that you are going to handle very much. These animals you can only really look at because the oils in our skin can actually be damaging to them. So if you do handle them very minimally, or if you're going to handle them a lot, use gloves. With her, I'm not going to have her out long, and I don't really handle her to begin with, so I'm not really worried about it for showing you guys this video. So Gaia is about 6 grams and about 1.5 inches from the tip of her nose to her butt. So this is Gaia, and she's so cute. I absolutely love her. So the last animals, well, last reptiles I have to show you guys are my leopard geckos. They are in a 20 gallon, which this is the medium wide from Exoterra. I love this Exoterra cage too. I love how it swings open. But I have them on Aspen right now. I am probably going to put them on a Repticarpet, but I had Aspen, so I put them on it because I did not have enough Eco-Earth. And after talking to the breeder, there is a chance, because leopard geckos lick everything, having them on Eco-Earth can lead to them ingesting it, causing possible impactation. So they can't really eat the Aspen like they would the dirt if they lick the dirt, and I also feed them with tongs, so it works out. They have a very small water dish over here, just deep enough for them to lick, not deep enough for them to drown themselves potentially. They have 3 different hides. This is their warm hide, so this is on the warm side over their under tank heating mat, which is on this side. And they have a cool side, which is over here. They need to cool off. They also have a humid hide, which is full of Eco-Earth. I have a plastic container in here with Eco-Earth, and I mist the dirt down daily, and that allows more humidity. That way, if they need more humid temperatures, they have it. Okay, so one of them was under the moist hide, which works. This here, this is Athena. Athena is my Sunglow Trimper Albino Marble Eye. So leopard geckos males get anywhere from 8 to 10 inches and females get 7 to 8 inches. They can live around 10 years. There have been cases of them living 20 years. So I think 10 to 15 years is a pretty good average. I know a lot of people don't have that much success and they might lose them at 6 years. So it's really a rare. I think saying around 10 years is pretty average, I think. So they're tank enclosures. If you have, depending on how many you have or how many you want is going to depend on the size tank you need. So a 20-gallon I think is fine for 2. I wouldn't put a single leopard gecko in a 10. I think they should all be in a minimum of a 20-gallon. But you can easily put 2 in a 20-gallon. If you want to have 3 or 4, I definitely think you should go with a 30-gallon. Never, ever, ever house males together. If you want to use them for breeding, you can house 1 male with 3 females to help reduce the risk of overbreeding the females and the females getting hurt from it, being egg-bound, things like that. But you can house females together. I have 2 females in this 20-gallon that I have, and again, this is a medium wide, and so it's not your standard 20-gallon. It's not tall. It's got more floor space, which is what these guys need. They will climb a little, but they are not going to be a climber species. They are more of a ground species. So they eat crickets, mealworms. You can even give wax and superworms as a treat. Their cage needs to be anywhere from 88 to 90 degrees. So their air temperature should be 73 degrees minimum, no lower than that. And so anything from 73 to maybe 80 will be good, just as a typical air temperature, but the cool hide definitely needs to be a little cooler so they have a chance to cool off. So again, this is Athena. She is my Sunglow Trimper Albino Marble Eye. And I'll see if you can kind of see her eye there. So Athena is about 67 grams, and she is about 8.5 inches long. She's absolutely gorgeous. I love her so much. I just got her and my other female, and actually my Pac-Man Frog from the Repticon we had the other day. So this is Athena. She's gorgeous, and I'm in love with her. I'm absolutely in love with her. I love them. Liam, my son's back there messing with the lights. So I'm going to put her back where I got her from and put the hide back over her. Okay, she's leaving. Now let me find my other one. Ah, there she is. Oh, come here. So this one is Nyx. She's a little smaller, so she's a little more feisty. She'll calm down a little as she gets a little older. So this is Nyx. Nyx is a super snow het belle, and that is her morph. Nyx is actually about 29 grams and about 7 inches long. So Athena more than doubles her size, but they are getting along fine. And that is another thing you have to make sure when you get new animals, if you're going to be housing them together, you need to keep an eye on them, make sure there is no aggression issues going on or any territorial issues. They both came from the same breeder. Actually, my Pac-Man Frog came from the same breeder as well at Repticon, and so I was not worried about housing them together because they did come from the same place. Her and Athena are getting along wonderfully, and I love Nyx. I couldn't choose between the two. I fell in love with the colors of both of them, and I just could not choose, so I had to have both of them, and he actually gave me a really good deal. I bought these two and got the Pac-Man Frog for free, which worked out because I wanted leopard geckos and a Pac-Man Frog. So this is Nyx. She is my goddess of night. But I am in love with her. Like, oh my god, she's adorable. She's so tiny and so cute. Moving on to my other animal. This is Apollo. He is a cat. They eat cat food. You can give them cat treats. They need a temperature range of about your house temperature. So anywhere from 60 to 80 degrees, I think, is good for cats. They are playful. They can be a little feisty, and they can bite and scratch sometimes if you get on their nerves. But other than that, they're very sweet. They can be very, very cuddly animals as well. Overall, they make excellent pets, and they love to purr, which is amazing. Yes, and they need cat toys. That is something else cats need. Cats need lots of stimulation, so you need lots of toys. And this cat here is absolutely spoiled, and he has 1,000,000 toys. 1,000,001 toys. He has 2 cat trees, and he's very, very spoiled kitty. They do need daily water and daily food. My last animal here is a dog. He's actually wanting belly rubs. So this is a dog. So dogs, pretty much just like cats, just need a normal average house temperature, and they'll be fine. Daily food and daily water. He is actually my service dog. So he helps me with all of my medical issues and lets me know before I have any problems with my medical issues. I have medical issues that make me pass out, and I have a bunch of other issues, and he lets me know before I pass out so that I don't hurt myself. He's a very good boy, and loves going out in public with me, because that's what a service dog does. A service dog is a dog specifically trained to mitigate a disability. So if you have a disability, you qualify for a service dog, but your dog has to be trained appropriately to assist you. So just having a dog and it making you feel good does not make it a service dog. But he actually is a service dog. He's a very good dog. So these two are like best friends in the whole wide world. They love each other. Apollo loves chewing on him. Apollo gets fixed. You see those? Those are getting chopped off in a couple of days. So yeah, those are all of my animals. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified for future videos that I upload. I will be doing weekly updates on my animals. That way you guys can see how my animals are doing, how they're faring, what's going on, if everything's normal, what's changing. I also upload videos related to service dogs and my disabilities. I upload those a lot, and we also try to do daily vlogs from time to time. And I'm also going to be uploading training videos with my service dog more often. So guys, if you want to follow us, hit that bell icon to be notified, subscribe, and like this video.